Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, my name is Holly Lee. I am your virtual career coach, and I've been running this YouTube channel for 4 years now. I am the founder and coach for my only premier VIP coaching, which is a full career transition, including interviewed. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn. I would say shortly right after or during COVID in 2020 has been a phenomenal ride with a lot of you guys. I think since COVID alone in 2020, about 7,000 of you were able to land a job at Amazon specifically because you amazing people showed up to my YouTube channel every single week to announce a job offer. And of course, I have to keep a tally of my math so I can share the great news with you. So if you are truly new, I do have a free download, which is the STAR download. I am a big fan of the STAR method. I don't know who invented the STAR method, but they must have been around for at least 30, 40 years or so. Actually, secretly, I want to tell you guys the time that I did work at Amazon as a senior recruiter. I was a leadership recruiter at one point in my career there, interview trainer, ended up to be a talent leader globally for devices and consumer there. They didn't really use the STAR method. Yeah, it's a shocker. Through the years of being a career coach for all of you amazing people, I figured that this is the only method to help you deliver your content or your interview answers straight to the point with any employer of your choice. That right there, my friend, is a free download, no catch, of my biggest business impact during my time at Amazon. So let's get down to business. I'm really excited. Let's start with what is going on for this quarter in 2024 and where we are at right now. Let's take a look at this really quickly. This is from NBC News. I'm a big fan of NBC News because a lot of the data are in real time and they do a lot of research in order to get here. So employers have added over 200,000 jobs in June into the labor market gradually. So the job gain came in slightly higher than expected, but May and April higher levels were revised sharply lower, and unemployment cracked 4% for the first time since November of 2021. I don't know if y'all remember that. So if you don't, let's not even talk about that or go there, okay? I will not be reading everything here, but all the links are in the descriptions. So what I really wanted to show you is, aside from all these numbers, right down here, this beautiful graph. Let me go ahead and make this a little big here, and let's chat about this for a second. If you guys could see here, the percentage change in earnings and inflation since 2019 has gone up from 2020 until now. So for the first time since 2021, as mentioned, the employment rate ticked above 4%, hitting 4.1%. If you guys really look at the big picture, it's really not that bad. I don't know if you guys are there for the 2009, was it, recession? It was really bad because I know that I couldn't stick with a job more than 2 months, 3 months max. And at the time, I was already a staffing lead at Microsoft. Even so, I got laid off, okay? So I do see a lot positions, a lot more job posting coming up, not just for tech, but also for the non-tech folks. Who here are non-tech? Please let me know what position you are or what industry you are in. I would love to get to know you guys a little bit better. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the unemployment rate at CNBC. All right, this is from beginning of 2021 until last month, or I should say several weeks ago. If you guys can see here, it's a good thing. In 2021, it was pure ugliness. I believe Google was the first employer to announce their layoff. That is FANG employer perspective, and all the other FANG kind of follow the I want the Big Apple, right? So you can see there's a big high. It's dropped down. So right now it is slowly cooling off with the unemployment rate. Okay, like I've mentioned earlier, a lot of you guys message me, and I do read all of my message through the social platform, but the best way to get in touch with me is via LinkedIn. I do check that on a regular basis. One of the famous questions is, where are we right now with the labor market? I'm really scared, especially with the election, the presidential election that's going on. A lot of people want to find a home prior to November, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, okay? So you guys feel free to look through this. Talking, you know what? I was not even expecting this graph to come up. The graph just came up. All righty, then let's move forward. This is not about politics, it's about career. All right. It's also very good to learn a little bit about the inflations, the economy, what's going on with the world, because all of that have an effect with the job market and why employers are still holding off a lot of the positions. Okay. I like Reddit a lot. So Reddit is great, especially for the tech market. Let me just make this smaller. There you go, right there. Through Reddit, I found two amazing sites. One is called TrueUp.io. The other one is Layoffs FYI, and they have global data because I do get a lot of international members, like some of you guys from all over the world. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But so far as the tech data and job opening, it is definitely performing a bit stronger than last year. Or I should say year over year, it's slowly coming back to reality. Slowly. I said slowly. I didn't say coming back to reality. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at that. I love this very much, guys. This is layoffs.fyi. Layoff.fyi. Up in the very top, you can tell that 380 tech jobs with layoffs, 109 employees laid off in 2024. You guys ready for this? Are you ready for the data? It's amazing. I love this site. If you move down, compare it to year over year, you can see the difference. Okay. So the number of layoff have dropped from last year dramatically. So you can look at it year over year. I don't have to do that. But the cool thing is this beautiful, amazing graph right here. It goes by company's name. Let's just say you're in, I'm not sure what country you are in. You can filter this amazing tool here. Ooh, sorry guys. There you go. There's India, Europe, Canada, California's, basically around the world. You can also see from your employer of choice or your geography the number of layoff. You can filter by date. This is amazing, guys. There's so many filter. Whomever created this, I feel like I need to reach out to the founder and thank them for this charge. I've done a lot of research every month with the monthly update, and this is so far the best site that I've come through. Not only that, but it's really carving out the industry here. So a lot of you guys, it doesn't matter what part of the world that you're in, I am still continuing to see a lot of employers providing remote opportunity. If you have never heard of the name before, even startup or mid-sized company, you can tell how beautiful this is, what industry they are from. Okay. Obviously, you guys can tell if you see layoff and the high numbers, they are media and food industry. If you're seeing ones that have a hole there, if I were you, I would look at those more seriously because I'm not seeing layoff. The numbers are very small, and you can tell what industry you're coming from. They are coming from. In this case, if you look at the AI industry, it's only 5%, which is 20 out of this Cohere company off of Toronto. That's just one example. Okay. I don't know what industry you guys are from. So depending on the industry, you could definitely get a feel of how your industry is performing right now as we're reaching in the middle of 2024. Okay. And amazing, another beautiful resources is right here. Look at all the sources. So you can tell where the data are coming from. Places like TechCrunch, VentureBeat, I love them. Business Insider, those are all the sites that I personally read up and follow on a weekly basis. Also, it's telling you what stages of startup you're in, post IPO, acquire, private. So I would pay deep attention to that. And if you're interested, if you're currently working for a lot of the big company or FANG company, I get a lot of those in my VIP coaching as a client member. A lot of those folks want to go to startup. If you are, you would want to look at something like Series E, preferably Series C. Why? That means they have funding. They're probably profitable if they can make it all the way to Series E or maybe pre-IPO. I don't think any company is going to go IPO during a recession, but that is something to consider, knowing where the financial standing is with a smaller organization before you decided to interview with them or jump ship. Okay? But if you don't have any job, you have to put foot in the table, jump ship. Jump ship, my friends. All right. So you can filter by date. Again, it's amazing. And it tells you this startup right here, Aqua Security, currently in Series E as an example, raised $325 million. Okay, it's beautiful, right? Do you like this chart? Please let me know in a comment below. If you like it, you do not like it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I feel like I should do a presentation just for this chart alone. That's how amazing this chart is to me. All right. Okay, fine. Second to the final presentation is this one right here. This is who is hiring from startup to big company around the world. Okay, so every top startup and big company, big tech company, all tech, by the way. Just looking at a big picture here, nothing particular. This is remote tech job is over 21,000. You see engineering jobs 52. I'm focusing on the big number. You can tell if you are in fintech, about 26,000. The data are fairly new, by the way, guys, as of July. Okay. So, Fang jobs, 31,000. So, there's still hope for us out there, right? There is still hopes. If you're interested in any of these companies, obviously, I would want to look at the one with high numbers. Even if you are a program manager, product marketing, basically roles that are not engineering related or true tech, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't look at these tech companies who are still having job opportunities. Okay. So going down here with this beautiful, beautiful graph, these are the 100 top company by ranking. And the amazing thing is, it tells you a little bit more about the information, if they're private, if they're public, how much they're worth. Look at that. I love this. It's saving people's time. I love this. This is called, was it True? True IO, but everything will be in the description later. I just love doing research. And when I find a cool website to share with you guys, I'm just really pumped about it. Okay. They even have IPO watch lists. One out of many example. Look at all of this. Look at all of this beauties right here, even by top rating score. So if I were you, I will not put all my eggs in one basket. I know that so many of you want to work for Amazon. You're hardcore AWS. You have to work for AWS. So you all know I am not an Amazon coach. I am a leadership coach. I love using the high bar at Amazon because I do believe that if you can pass that high bar, at Amazon, the intensive interview process, you will be able to land a job with other employer. And that is a fact. That is why I love training around using majority of their core leadership principle. Because why? A lot of the companies, if not all of them, including startups, have their own company philosophy, aka leadership principle. Okay, so why not follow the big giant that's been proven in the last 30 years? They have done really well in hiring the best talent for the organization, such as Amazon. Here is the last slide right here: 20 fastest growing careers in 2024. I will not be reading all of that. See all these amazing links here. If I were you, I would click on them and learn more about this. I also get a lot of questions from my LinkedIn community for more data on career transition, as in moving from industry to industry. A lot of the folks from the tech don't want to be working in the tech companies anymore. They want to get out of that to work for, excuse me, non-tech. Okay. So I would pay attention to that. Nursing is still in a very high demand. I don't know if y'all notice, but the nursing salary, if you look at, I don't know what the 2024 is. I'm assuming also don't just look at the salary here. This is the median pay. It's also by what state where you are located at. Okay. I'm in Arizona right now. I can guarantee you in Arizona, whatever the nurses are making, you can get paid so much more in major cities like San Francisco, the Bay Area, and New York, and etc. Okay, so do your homework on that. I could definitely tell that nurses definitely do not make 80K a year salaries anymore. That has gone up, which is great. Not just nurses, but I personally would love to see teachers making more money. Who else is with me? Teachers need to get paid more. All right. The one thing that surprises me a little bit, I see a lot of hospitality, meaning hotels. There's a lot of more role in the hotel industry, lobby attendants, vacations, resorts. I'm also seeing a lot of folks who quit their job. So that 4.1% unemployment rate are not just those who have been affected by the layoff, but there are a large percentage of people who just don't want to work anymore. Not because they are ready to retire, is because they don't see themselves working for another employer. They will volunteer to take the severance to leave an organization because they've been there for 10 or even 20 years. Okay. Somewhere along here, which I am actually a little surprised, I would expect to see healthcare professionals and engineer, AI being or security professionals being the top three. But rather, look at this. All the way number 6 is data scientists, where I was expecting it to be the very top three. You see a lot of this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You see so many of these restaurants and lobby attendants and all that. So it seems like there's a lot more job for non-tech folks in those category. And of course, the information system, the web developers, all of that will continue. Okay. All right. I'm not going to look at all of that. You guys have the data and feel free to look through it. I thought this is interesting to share. And of course, I have to end this presentation with a bunch of nurses smiling at us. Right? Let's see where we are. Ed says, how do candidates are perceived nowadays when they have switched jobs so often in today's wild job market from hiring manager? That's an excellent question. There's a lot of X-Level 7 from Amazon who's asking me the exact same question, because since some of the folks are affected from the layoff, not that they're not able to find another job coming from these big employers, but is not the right fit for them because they've been with the same company for so long. Right now, more so than ever, you have every excuses in the book. I don't want to use the word job hop because the employers are more so wanting to learn more of what is your experience in the last, let's just say 5 jobs you've had in the last 6 months. Okay. So those are the type of interview questions that you need to consider that the employers will be asking you. It's not all just tell me about yourself. Rather than that, I think they're going towards so what exactly are you looking for now? The one advice that I will give you guys, if you are in transition to a job or you're not working right now, I will not close your current employment, especially when you've been laid off this year or so. Just leave it open. You don't want there to be biases. What does that mean? That means if I'm the recruiter, if I have 1 or let's just say 3 positions to hire with your exact background, and there are hundreds of people who are currently working right now with the industry and experience exactly what I look for, and your LinkedIn profile or resume says that you're no longer there and you haven't worked. So if you're really that good, I'm just not saying this in any negative form, guys. You know I'm here to tell you the truth, and I'm very transparent if you're new to my channel. You don't want them to look at someone who are currently still employed versus you. Okay. So if I were you, I wouldn't close that gap as in your end employment. I would just leave it wide open. And that's exactly what I teach in my VIP coaching as well, because the goal is professional. I want you guys to land job interviewed, not by having your credential pass by. A lot of employers still do that. As mentioned, they don't have the funding or the need to hire so many of you. They have the option to be pickier now more so than ever. It is okay if they see or hear that you have changed job in the last few months or so. You don't necessarily have to tell them that you're changing job every month. Do not voluntarily give the employer information unless they ask. It is really important now, more so than ever, especially when you're in marketing. Make some friends in your industry. You are fighting with a lot of people with your credential or more experience. The way for you to get your foot in the door to land job interviewed and to be considered as a hired, it helps for you to be referred on someone that's already been with a company, preferably for a while, or a hiring authority. So LinkedIn is a perfect way for you guys to do so. I know a lot of you are really shy. It's out of your comfort zone. You don't feel like you want to reach out to them. Reach out to them. You have to be extremely extremely uncomfortable if you want to fight for that job. I just made presentations on 5 different links. 2 of those links tells you exactly who is hiring worldwide, where the layoffs are, by industry, by date, down to how profitable the company is right now. So make sure you guys do your due diligence before you just apply for a job, okay? But however, if you feel like you're really rusty, I know it's not a fun thing to be affected by the layoff. It's good for you to have practice, especially when you've been with a company for a long time and you haven't interviewed for a while. So it's good for you to refresh and just have a conversation with an employer. You may not know. You never heard of their names now. You may end up really be intrigued with the hiring manager, the team, the product, and the vision of that organization. So don't let employers pass by just because you've never heard of them before or because they're a startup. In fact, I would advise you guys to go after mid-company or startups that are performing very well over a lot of these big companies. If you have any questions, if you can think of any, feel free to leave a comment on my channel or just reach out to me directly on LinkedIn, okay? Thank you so much for all of your patience. I will talk to you guys next week.